Welcome back. Tomorrow is an important day for many New Orleans parents. The Main Round of OneApp opens for New Orleans public schools. This morning, Dr. Henderson Lewis Jr., the Superintendent of Schools, is here to talk about how this works. Good morning, Dr. Henderson.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course.
today.
Thanks so much for joining us, because I know tomorrow is going to be a very big day for you all. We all know what OneApp is. It's basically a unified application process to enroll in NOLA public schools, but you all have adjusted it a little bit this time because of some feedback. What have you done to adjust it?
Yes, first of all, as a school system, we continue to listen to our students, our families, and our community. Always want to figure out and find ways to improve the school system. And so when it comes down to the OneApp, we heard from our families why it takes so long to get the results back. So now we're opening on November 22nd, and it's going to go all the way through January 31st, and then our families will be able to get those results from the first round sometime early March.
So more time to enroll, which is great. Now, it's so interesting to me because I have never been in a city where there was a OneApp application process. What are the benefits to doing something like that?
So first of all, for our family, it streamlines. We have 78 schools, and so you go to one place to be able to register for, not register, but actually apply for our schools. For our families, when you are looking at a school, you have 12 options, and you're able to rank from your most preferred option all the way down to your 12th option, so that your child can have a place as you're applying for a new school.
So how do they pick those 12? Is it based on your location or something?
So our families can actually, if you have siblings, there's a preference. So if you have a student already at a particular school.
Okay.
But then in addition to that, if you live within a half mile of a school, we give you preference in our enrollment system. Or also, if you live in a particular zip code and you want a school in that zip code, you can also apply using that preference as well.
And again, there are 78 schools to choose from, and they're all public schools.
Yes, all of our schools are public schools, and we have a very diverse array of schools, and so we encourage our families, as they are interested in applying for a school, to one, understand the configurations of the grades that are at those particular schools, but then also understand the programs that we have, because depending on the need of your child and what you're looking for, you may be looking for an arts focus, you may be looking for a STEM focus, so being able to look at all those options to determine what schools are best for you and your family.
And I know a lot of people have used the app before. There already have been some concerns about it. Let's talk about the priority thing. Can you speak to a little bit about that, and if that does affect it at all?
So the priorities that we have, as I said before, sibling priorities, you have whether you live a half mile radius or a school, or in a particular zip code. But I must say that even as we open it on November 22nd, you need to be very, very clear. You don't have to wake up at midnight and apply.
Oh, that's good.
And think you're going to be the first in line.
Right.
Whether as soon as the window opens to the time it closes, all those applications are ranked the same way. And then we run the lottery system, and then depending on the priorities that you place, then the algorithm will be put in place and determine what selection will be given for your child. So again, we don't need our families starting on November 22nd at 12:01 to actually put that application in. They have all the way until January 31st to get it in.
And say I live right behind the school, I can then pick that school as possibly my priority school?
Yes, so if you live within a half mile radius of a school, you can apply. Now, it's not going to guarantee that you're going to get that spot, but there is a certain number of spots that will be available for all the students who live within a mile radius of a school. And then they will be put in, and depending on the number of seats available, it will determine who will actually get that seat. So there's a priority, but there's not a guarantee that you will get that seat, because again, we run a lottery system.
Right.
Yes.
Now, when you log onto the OneApp, can we find out logistical information about the schools? How many schools are enrolled? What types of classes do they offer?
Yeah, so once you go to enrollnola.org, you can get a lot of information. So you can learn about each of our schools, but then also many times our families don't realize that you can also see the letter grade, how this school is performing.
Very important.
So if you're making the decision on the past performance of a school, we provide you that information. I also encourage our families to visit our schools and to learn more about them. Many of our schools may have an open house, so take advantage of that opportunity to see if this is a school you want to apply for.
And what's good is that, you know, if you're like me, I just have a kid going to school, I don't know this whole technology thing, you all have some resources available to help people out.
Yeah, so we have our parent guide and our school profiles on Enroll NOLA. So again, enrollingnola.org, you can get that information.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, Dr. Henderson, love your tie. Congratulations on being the superintendent. That is a cool job right there. And hey, don't forget, there are 3 Family Resource Center locations, one at the Mahalia Jackson, another at Idea Oscar Dunn in New Orleans East, and a 3rd one at the New Orleans Parish School Office Central Office. You can also log on to enrollingnola.org.